episode of Success Never Sleeps, sponsored by My Studio, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. All right. Hey, Brannon Beliso here, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast. Type your name in. I want to make sure everybody can hear me just fine. Just fine. Let me know that as we're working out these new kinks and be live. This is Success Never Sleeps. I am who? Brannon Beliso. Cool. Everybody's coming in already. Thank you for doing that. As you come aboard. Hey, Steph, can you hear me? Type it in there. K1, we good? Tell me that you guys can hear me just fine. And then I'll be a happy guy. The new thing would be live. You can't hear us live until we go live. I guess that makes sense, right? I guess that makes sense. So how's everybody doing out there? You doing good? Hey, what's up, Jason, Jonathan, Chris, all the way from Australia. My brother from down under, as one would say. I can hear you on Facebook, but not be live. So will be a bit of a delay until it connects audio. Okay. Connect audio. I can see my audio on this side. You guys, good. Steph can hear me fine, so I'm going to go with that. As long as Steph can hear me, I'm a happy camper. So, here we are, right? 6 months into this pandemic. Some people are completely open. I talked to one guy. He's been closed since April. He's not going to open until next year. He must have a day job, and he must be cool with all that. For many of us, we're pivoting hard into this brave new norm. So I decided to move back to my old format. And my old format when I started this show, and it was just Q&A with Brannon about 5-6 years ago, way before it ever became Success Never Sleeps, we would just chop it up. And last week when we did that and we went through a Q&A, it was so powerful for me and very reminiscent of why I started this show. It's real time, real answers in the moment, right? But I think the big thing is ideas are free. And I don't have the answers for you. I can just tell you what I would do. And with that, if it fits your value system, it fits your vision, it fits your action plan, then you take what you need. And like Bruce Lee said, you discard the rest. Cool? I mean, it's really that simple. So I think often what I learned early on in life is you don't have to know to go. Whatever I don't know, I research, I study, I trial and error, and I experiment, and I get in there. Because there's a big difference between learning and knowing. Learning, I read out of a book. Knowing is when I apply that knowledge in real time in my life, make mistakes, fail forward, and then I have real data to say, for me, it works or it doesn't. But just because it doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean it won't work for you. See, so that's the neat thing. And I watched Social Dilemma last night. Again, if you get a chance, watch that. How many of you seen Social Dilemma? Put it in there. It's on Netflix. Put it in. Who can put that in there? Let me know. Cool. And everybody still hearing me? Are we good? Let me know that we're good. Came on while we're waiting for people to say hi. Put in the name of your school where you're tuning in from. Let's share our sponsors with everybody, please. So our sponsors are, we have My Studio. Oh, man, where you at, K1? You're supposed to be there. Well, I'm going to do it then. Our sponsors are My Studio. Man, My Studio, I love the people there. Again, I'm big on disruption, and they were the first CRM app in our industry, true CRM app in our industry. And they continue to make headway and do disruptive things. They listen to us. You know what I love about the tribe at My Studio is that we don't bitch and moan at them. We tell them what we need. We're patient with the process because we're disruptors. And to really have innovation, it's trial and error and experimentation, again, failing forward. Man, Market Muscles, he's busting loose, man. They redid all their websites. Who'd think about that? He's revamping the whole thing, right? And he's coming up with other products, and it's powerful. Steven Reinstein and the gang there. And I'm excited to say Steven Reinstein will be joining me for It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event, November 14th and 15th. Kids Love Life Skills, pure innovation. We're moving into a whole new business model coming in January. It's going to serve our partners better. It's going to continue to cultivate life skills at the highest level. And then LC Accounting. Awesome accounting. If you need a great accountant, go visit LC Accounting for bookkeeping. Cool. All right. So gonna watch it tonight. Yeah, definitely watch it. You've seen it, right, Nicholas? And I get it. The point is, the longer they keep you at social media, the more they can sell you things, right? If you're not there at the different social media platforms, guess what? They can't sell you anything. So they understand your behaviors, and then they send you things in your news feed. They send you things in your scroll. Now, for somebody like me, I'm a little older. I'm more mature. I grew up without personal computers. I grew up without cell phones. I use it strictly for my business and to connect with friends. I don't scroll. I don't spend hours there other than posting things, that are relevant content to help you live your best life and businesses and individuals. I don't spend a lot of time scrolling, clicking on ads, and it does not affect me emotionally. Believe me, at all. So if I encourage anything in relationship to that, be mindful. There's young people out there, the suicide rate has quadrupled since 2010, because of social media, and they attribute directly to it. Little girls are not leaving the house. When they post a picture and someone says, "You got big ears," or they post a picture and they get 2 likes, right? It totally messes with their self esteem. My daughter will not have a TikTok, Instagram, Facebook account well until she's later in her teens. We'll fight with her tooth and nail. I will take that phone. I will do everything I can because I do not want my young child basing their self-worth upon tens of thousands of people they don't even know validating them or not. So how does that affect you as a school owner? Well, number one, Gary Vee says, don't worry about how many likes, how many views you get. What you need to do is keep posting relevant content, become a trusted storyteller, of your tribe. So be ever mindful of that when you're working at social media. I never even look back, to be honest with you. I don't look and see how many views I have. I don't care. If I don't even know validating them or not. So how does that affect you as a school? Well, number one, Gary Vee says don't worry about how many likes, how many views you get. What you need to do is keep posting relevant content, become a trusted storyteller, of your tribe. So be ever mindful of that when you're working at social media. I never even look back, to be honest with you. I don't look and see how many views I have. I don't care. One, two, 1, 2. You hit something there, K1, because I was groovy and now I'm not. Okay, let's see. Hang on, folks. Stay right there. Yeah, I think when you restarted your computer, K1, that changed everything for me because my picture's gone. Hang on. Stay with us, folks. I hope. Stay right there, folks. Can you hear me? Everybody put in there. Hear you now. Just can't see you. Good, good, good. The camera, we're going to figure that out. All right. So stay with me, folks. So, I'm so passionate about social media and leveraging it for our business. And I'm going to tell you, please don't base it upon how many likes you get or any of those things because it's really irrelevant. You're there to tell a story. I know I can't see me either, K1. I keep clicking on my camera and there's nothing there. So I'm not sure what to do about that, sir. Click on my camera, it says audio only. Click on the camera in the left-hand corner, it says audio only. So I'm going to keep talking and you keep messing with the K1. I'm going to mess on it with my side as well. Let me reload one more time. I'm going to reload, folks. Show in the stream, and there I am. Bear with us. There we go. All right, we good? Everybody back? Give me a thumbs up in there for all good. the ghost in the machine. So I want you to be mindful, and I'm really proud of all the disruptors. I see you posting, consistently, and you're not just posting food videos and things like that. You're posting relevant content in your wheelhouse, in line with your message, in line with who you are. And that's powerful. That's super powerful because we know consistency builds trust. And if your message is consistent, no matter what that is, you're going to earn that trust of your tribe, which branches out into the community at large. So, I've been at social media for close to a decade now. I would say close to a decade, nurturing my audience, nurturing the tribe. And my message is clear. I am a disruptor. I am an innovator, right? I come into the plate and I'm looking for new and innovative ways to succeed. I'm helping people define individuality. It's all about doing one thing and one thing only, living your best life. Individuals, businesses, and companies come to me to help everybody live their better life through systems, processes, defining the why, core values, all those different things. That's all I'm about. 24/7, 365. You won't come to me to do contracts. You will not come to me to do a black belt club. And that's my platform. So again, if you want to earn that trust, and somewhere out there in the world is your niche audience, right? Think there's billions and billions and billions of people on social media. You only need that much to generate a lot of revenue and be successful. Don't try to be something to everybody. Be what you are and do it really, really well. Cool. All right, K1, let's get into some questions. Can you throw a question up for me, K1? Okay, so how do we produce social media content? Outsource or in-house? What are some of your best practices? Thank you, Conrad, for that question. Well, I'm going to tell you, I have worked with many at this point, social media people, and I'm not impressed. 99% of the time, it's data that cannot be verified. We're getting you leads. Our insights show that. And I think it's just it's something you need to become good at. Right. And I think that's why many of us suffer in general in our business is we have this great skill set of being a great martial artist. We have a great skill set of being a great martial arts instructor, but we never develop the skill set of being a small business owner. And for me, that's been the success of my life is as a small business owner, I can change a leaky faucet. I can paint a wall. I can do a social media post. I can answer a phone. I can write an email, all those different things. I think that's very important. You need to be well-versed in your business. You can't delegate what you can't define. Now, again, who's going to tell your story better than you? Right? You want to tell that story. I think the challenge is, and I experience every time with these marketers and these groups that I've worked with, and I've done it, and we're doing it right now. And when this is done, we're not going to do it anymore. And I'll say that publicly because when the day's done, I'm still kicking myself in the butt because everybody will get you 1,000 leads. I don't want leads. I'm going to tell you that right now. What I want are relationships. So I'm willing to nurture a relationship. I'm willing to grow it. We signed up 2 new students yesterday virtually. Number one, the first one, her brother got a brown belt in my dad's school. The other one, she had found us through a Facebook ad, pure and simple. But what she really loved is she's looking for a male role model for her child. And I gave her good benefits that we can offer about myself and my team in that evaluation. And she signed up. It had nothing to do with the content of that Facebook ad or anything. And if you look at it, it's so hokey. Right? And I don't want to be part of that. I want to really cultivate a story. So I think, Conrad, is you need to become a great writer. I was a white belt writer, John Corcoran, bless his soul, God rest in peace. He kicked my butt for years, 9 feature articles through MA Success, a book, Live, Learn, Grow. And John nurtured me. And he kicked my butt. He was pretty tough on me. But I was cool with that because I know the key is you need to become an effective storyteller. Jason, you're starting to do a great job with that. You really, really are. I see your social media posts. He's utilizing Kids Love Life skills, and he's really beginning to cultivate that. When I knew I was on the right path was when I hit that point as a speaker. I was on the circuit pretty well in the martial arts industry. I gained a lot of leverage, and I did a photo shoot. And in the photo shoot, I'm wearing a suit, and I told this guy, I want people to know I'm a speaker. So one, I hate wearing suits. So I looked really stiff on camera and looked funky. So he said, take off your tie. I took off the tie. I still felt tight and funky because I don't like collared shirts. And then third, he told me to do this. Speaker 101 hand gesture. right? I'm a speaker. Here's my, politic hand. It's like that parade hand wave. And then I didn't think about it at the time, but I went back and I looked at those pictures from the photo shoot. I went, shit, I look like everybody else now. I might as well get a fake tan and bleach my teeth white, right? And wear the big old Rolex watch so I look like I make a lot of money. And then I recognize it's about authenticity. Authenticity cuts like a knife through all the fake news, through everything that's going on out there. You really want to be authentic. You want to be real, right? You want to be real. And that's hard to do. That's hard to do because everyone's ready to rip you up, tear you down, and do that. So most people perpetrate a fraud. It's easier to fall in line like sheep. I've cultivated a message. Has it alienated me from Joe E. Public? Absolutely. The general public in our industry, they don't care for my message. That's okay because it's my message. It's based upon something I feel very deeply about, and the tribe I do have is very loyal. Is very loyal to the message, and they go out there and that resonates. I may not get 1,000 leads, but every week I'm gaining at least a handful of new followers. I would rather have that than 100 leads, 1,000 leads through my door, right? And we know how that works. Those Facebook marketers get you 100 leads. You might get 25 people to schedule an appointment. Out of that 25, maybe 10 will show up. Out of that 10, maybe 2 will sign up. Because it wasn't about investing in a relationship. It was just strictly about traffic, traffic, traffic. And if I, as a Facebook marketer, can tell you, I got you traffic, you suck at selling, then it's a done day. It's a done day. So stop it. Take a course, learn what you need to learn, but be mindful. And this is the big thing about that, right? They really talked about how technology has gone like this. And then all of a sudden, its impact and revenue went like this. It shot up. It shot up because those algorithms are changing every minute, every second. It's changing, right? So what they're selling you is going to be dead tomorrow. Remember the time when everything was about get reviews, get reviews, get reviews. Then that's kind of gone to the wayside. It's just standard fare. Then it was all about boosting a post, and that was gone. Then it's still, A/B tests still work, but it was A/B split tests, right? And all those different things. So every day, and you see it. And remember the time in our industry was, I'm dropping a bomb. Do you guys remember that time? Everybody was dropping bombs, right? Every new person, I'm dropping a bomb this Friday. I'm dropping a bomb. I'm dropping a bomb. Who's with me on that? Anybody? Remember the dropping the bomb period that was there? And then we went through the whole mastermind, super mega mastermind, the master of the mastermind. That went on for a while. So understand that in order to keep up with the Joneses in social media, these trends are changing all the time. The challenge with that, it promotes distrust because 1 minute you're singing this song. Next minute, you're singing another song. So 1 minute I see this type of Facebook ad on you. Next minute, I see a totally different ad, right? Because it's changing so quickly and those algorithms are learning at breakneck speed. And it's scary because those algorithms know more about you than you do, right? If you're not buying the product, you are the product. When I saw that last night, I was like, whoa, right? If you're not buying the product, you are the product. And we are the product. Because you think about it, these social media platforms don't charge anything, right? Where they make money is advertising. And in order to keep running ads in front of you, they need you at Facebook. So when you're scrolling, they're going to feed you content that's relevant to your thinking. Even worse, they're going to start molding your thinking and influencing you. So guess what? We can do the same. But I want to be that beacon of light, that consistent message, Conrad, that people are going to learn to trust. And that's the one thing I can share through this whole pandemic, why we're still here after 6 months, is people trust. Every day, Brannon Belisa will be there. Every day, you get at least one video post from me, correct? Every day, you can trust that. And it will be relevant on life skills, living your best life, bettering your business, cultivating the mindset, growing your culture. My message is consistent. I'm not going to change that. I'm going to keep refining and defining it. But I'm not going to simply hop on every trend because it'll be gone just like that. Because those algorithms, like I said, are changing every freaking day. Cool? I know that's a little long and lengthy, but I've been singing that song, and after watching social media, and we're working with marketing right now, that it's okay. It's okay, but ultimately we have to sing our song. right? And if you don't sing their song, what do they tell you? That's why it doesn't work. You have to do it our way. We are the experts. You are not the expert on telling my story. No way you're not, unless you're the William Morris Agency, right? Think about that. Cool. All right. Next question. What do we got? Yeah. Great, great, great. Thank you, K1. And this is a wonderful post, right? Because we understand the one thing that's very important is safety, 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 safety. So coming back into our schools, into our distance learning camps, anything that we do, if we're not dispelling some of the fear by promoting safety, 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 we're missing the boat. Look at our logo on her shirt. You know it's One Martial Arts by her shirt. What is she doing? Taking temperature. That is the number one concern of parents. Are you going to keep my child safe when they come into your school for camps, distance learning, and regular classes? So that's why this has been so relevant for us. Cool? All right. Where's that picture, K1, of me in the suit? Throw that thing up there. Throw it up there. I want people to see this. Look at that young in there, huh? Look at the hands. Oh, no. Now, how many of you believe that's Brannon Beliso right there? It's not. But again, as I was raising the bar and I started work, I was working with a marketer, paying him $3,000 a month. And they told me, Brannon, no one's going to get you in a black t-shirt. And at the time I wore, black jeans. Now I wear Lululemon. No one's going to get you. You look like a gangster. No one's going to dig any of that stuff. You need to get in line with what people view, right? Because a picture speaks 1,000 words of what a speaker looks like. You see those hands? Does that suck? Does that suck? And I hate wearing a wedding ring. I don't wear it. I cut up my hands training. My wife doesn't mind either. Tell me, is that Brannon Beliso? No, it's not, right? But when I hit that crossroads, I really had to do some soul searching and ask myself, is that what Brannon's about? At my why and my core value? It's not me. It's not me. Cool? All right, what's our next question, K1? You guys remember when we all did the picture? We're the instructor down on one knee, and we're holding up the kid's leg, smiling. Anybody ever do that shot? Who did that one? Whoever did that one. Where you're down on one knee as an instructor, looking at the kid smiling, holding up their leg while they're kicking. Anyone have that picture? I could probably find that somewhere. I did that one too, right? Anybody? Who's got that picture? Somewhere in your archives. You're down on one knee, holding the kid's legs, smiling, looking at them. Come on. Somebody put it in the comments. Somebody own that for me, please. Right? We've all done it. And I looked at that and I went, wow. So what I did the complete opposite. I don't think K1 can find it. There's a picture of me with my back to the camera and the kid's back is to the camera. I've got my arm around him and I'm looking down at him. So all you see is like my side of my face and you see One Martial Arts on the back of our uniforms. That was powerful. That was marketing 101. It showed that mentor role, right? And again, at least the minimum, it's mine and it's different, right? And it got us a lot of students because it was non-threatening. There was no kicking. There was no punching. We were walking and talking, right? And you can only see our back. And I have my arm around this kid and I'm looking down at him talking, right? Right. Danny said he never did it. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. All right, K1, what's the next question? Pop it in there for me, sir. How can you convey to the Gen Z staff the importance of what they are doing daily to impact the next generation tomorrow? Nick, I'm going to tell you straight up. Remember how our parents said to us, one day when you're older, you will understand? That's it. You can't expect the average 19, 20-year-old. There's some exceptional ones out there. You can't expect them while they're busy TikToking, Instagramming, Snapchatting, and scrolling, to get that. One of the things about social dilemma that's really relevant, kids are staying home longer. Kids lack confidence. Kids aren't going to college. Kids are, in college for a year and they can't handle the outside world because their whole domain is here in a freaking iPad staring into social media. So when they get out into the real world, they're scared. That's why they're so sensitive. Their skin's not thick. They need to toughen up, right? And I'm not going to toughen up doing this at TikTok. That's not going to toughen me up at all. So, how do you convey that? Through your example, Nick. Number one is lead by example. I will clean a bathroom and I will promptly show a Gen Z how to clean it. Absolutely. Lead by example, because they have everybody in the world telling them what to do. Better yet, show them, Nick, how to do it. And Rudy Mick, who's I consider one of my mentors, taught me, and his main industry is the restaurant industry. They're young people with very little work experience, so they don't have work ethic yet, let alone passion for the tribe and the purpose and the why, right? And that's cool. I'm okay with that. So what we do, Nick, is we instill systems, because systems build consistency. And watch the founder, about McDonald's, Ray Kroc, read the book E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Systems for ordinary people to perform extraordinarily, Nick. That's really what you're after, right? And do you care if a 15-year-old kid makes your quarter pounder with cheese or if a 50-year-old man makes it? No, you don't, because it's made exactly the same again and again and again and again. Now, quick story. I haven't eaten McDonald's in about 25 years. During this pandemic, I went and ate a quarter pounder with cheese and a fillet of fish because my kids wanted it one day. I cannot tell you, the minute I took a bite of that fillet of fish, all these childhood memories flooded me, right? Because that's all we ate growing up poor. It was the cheapest food around, right? But you know what? That fillet of fish tasted exactly as it did when I was a 10-year-old kid. Exactly. Nothing's changed. It's consistently done that way. So you need systems, because those young kids will perform extraordinarily, Nick. And then it's writing the systems and then writing the systems to teach them. Please don't write systems for yourself. That's probably the biggest mistake. And don't think it's common sense. It is in your mind. And that's the death of many small business owners. When they write social media posts, they do it for themselves. When they make a logo, they do it for themselves. When they take a picture, they do it for themselves. You can't do that when you write a system, do a social media post, or design your brand. You need to understand who your avatar is, as Stephen Reinstein says, or in simpler terms, your demographic. Who is your demographic, Nick? And you speak to them, right? When you talk about conveying the Gen Z, your question looks very frustrated. I don't want to convey to the Gen Z. I want to understand the Gen Z. I want to know how the Gen Z thinks, acts, sleeps, walks, and talks. Because the more I can understand that Gen Z, the more I can cater to them. That's exactly what you're doing. Does that make sense? Think about that. All right. K1, let's talk to people about what we got coming up. Quick commercial break on that as well. Let me thank my sponsors really quick. I want to thank my studio, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. Love you guys. Without you supporting the show, we wouldn't have this show. Everybody, if you haven't used their services, please use them. Good people, cutting edge, disruptive people. I love it. And I'm very particular about who I sponsor with. I am, because if our values don't align, if our visions don't align, then it's not a good fit. It's not. It's simply not. So I'm ever mindful about that. And that's really important to me. All right. Next question, K1. What do we got? Let me say hi. Hey, Stephen Reinstein. What's up, Stephen? Stephen. Can we bring Stephen on the show? He's there. Let's mess him up. I bet his hair's jacked up and he's got a beard right now. If Steven's around, throw him a link. I just want to say hi really quick. Pop in that next question for me, K1. All right. How can we connect with customers on a deeper level, maybe even emotionally? Well, Steph, that's what it's all about. Engagement and connectivity. I took a webinar a couple of weeks ago with Jeff Cork. He was on, and he's a big Rudy Mick student, bigger student than I am of Rudy Mick. So I love listening to Jeff Cork of Karate America. He's one of Randy Reed's instructors. Amazing guy. He's got a school with over 500 students in one location in a little bitty town. And they kept talking about it, him and his wife. Engagement, connectivity, and connectivity. So how do we connect with people emotionally, Steph? How do we do that? Be authentic, be transparent, be real. There's so much fake news. There's so much perpetrating a fraud. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You really, 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 really want to be who you are. But it goes back then, Steph. Do you know thyself? Do you know who you are? Right? At 58 years old, I know who I am. There's no qualms about it. I don't pull any punches. And I really dig that. I really, really dig that. I look at pictures of me I wanted to be a rock guy. Then I think I copied Prince for a little bit. And this, because I'm searching for who I am as a young kid. I get all that. But eventually, if you invest that time, Steph, in self-discovery, you invest that time into honing your act. right? Or as Cat Williams says, being in tune with your star player. That's where it begins. And then second, empathy. One of the things I'm going to teach at It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event, is how do we cultivate empathy? And that is to truly understand how somebody feels and be able to see the world through their eyes. If we can truly do that, that connectivity happens emotionally so quickly, so quickly, so quickly, so quickly. I can't express that enough. I simply can't, right? Because if I can speak with you on your terms, I was talking to mom yesterday in that intro, and she was almost on the verge of tears because you can see all she wants for her son is to give him the skill set to make an amazing life. And that's how we were connecting virtually. She was on the verge of tears. And I recognize that because I was right with her in the moment, Steph. And I acknowledge that. I can see how much this means to you, mom. And we will do our best by you. And she signed up almost instantly. All right, bring him in for me, K1. Can you do that? Or is that something I need to do? Because I'm not seeing the magic man. Split that screen. Help me out there, K1. Can you do that? There he is. How do you split the screen, K1? Can you do that? Otherwise, I'm going to end up soloing this big dog. Let me bring him in. Can I do that? Oh, there he is. What's up, my brother? How are you, sir?
Good.
You've been a madman. Man, you got so many things out there. Let me jump on that really hard right away. I saw a new product in the pipe, right? Lead Hawk, right? So why? Why, Stephen? I want to know at a heart level, why Lead Hawk?
Yeah, so we get a lot of our existing martial arts and fitness clients who come to us and say, "Hey, I've got a friend, they run a landscaping business and, we've had great success with your website. I'd love for them to be able to use it too. Do you do that at Market Muscles?" And we've always said no in the past. Like, we don't do that. We can't help them out. And, after being in business for about almost 4 years now, of course, working with you to develop our systems, we've kind of gotten to this point where we know how to create websites really, really effectively in a really great way that I think can help all sorts of locally owned businesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just made sense for us to kind of create a brand that can help other niches, and we're just going to try it out, see if it works, see if it works well. That's kind of what we do. We try things, and if it works well, great. If not, we'll go back to the drawing board and see what we can do. But we're going to test it out and see if we can serve other industries as well.
Well, I think because what's really disruptive about what you do is that you do connect with people on an emotional level. People go to your websites and people are connected emotionally. So would it work for a landscaper, a dentist, anybody? Absolutely. A good burger is a good burger, whether I'm a dentist, a landscaper, or a plumber. A good burger is a good burger, right?
Right.
And I really believe your websites offer that. Because you're doing stuff nobody else does. Because I think genuinely at a heart level, I've never known you to go, well, how can I make a lot of money? You've always been about, because everybody should know that you started doing websites when you were 13 and you weren't making money at 13, were you?
Right.
No, it was purely for the love, the passion, just the whole world of designing websites. So I'm sure for you, websites were your best friend when you were 13, weren't they?
Yeah. It's funny that you say that.
Psychological, man. I'm messing with Steven now. But no, seriously, because I think people need that backstory. Tell me, were you, because I don't want to be stereotyped, but were you a computer nerd?
Not so. That's the funny thing. Not really. Like, I've done sports growing up my entire life. Like,
Well, you've
I
always
played
done
soccer.
martial arts since you were
Yeah, I've
3,
always done
right?
martial arts. I've played soccer. I did roller hockey. I played lacrosse. I did a lot of like BMX and skateboarding. I've broken so many bones doing skateboarding and BMX. It's kind of funny, but I don't know, when I got to the age of like 13, 14, I kind of just hit this phase where, I still had friends that I enjoyed spending time with, but I just really enjoyed my own time. I really, kind of preferred to stay home and do my thing on the computer rather than going out and going to parties and those sorts of things. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
So, I mean,
I
what
guess
happened one day? Were you just at the internet, you saw a website and said, oh, I really dig that. I want to make websites.
it was probably video games that like really got me into using the computer. I mean, my dad does computer work, of course, but I started getting into like creating graphics for video games. That's like really what started me with learning how to use Photoshop and things like that. And then eventually I started creating websites for video game teams and stuff like that. And then of course back then, I mean, now there's a lot of money in esports or, you know, video games. It's kind of insane. But back then there's no money in it. So then I started doing, you know, websites for businesses and stuff like that. And that's how it kind of expanded. But it all started with kind of just doing it for fun, you know, for around video games.
Right, and you see, you guys, it didn't come out of money. It came out of the love, the fun
Yeah.
of it, and you know, it's. I think we share that value. We love having fun. We love to, you know, and fulfilling your purpose is fun. And every day when you can cultivate things like that, you're only in competition with yourself. Do you agree?
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I've kind of had this realization recently, and maybe it's based off of, you know, media that I'm consuming, YouTube videos, movies, and stuff like that. You know, I kind of have like this love-hate relationship with money in general, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, I love it because it affords you to live a lifestyle that you want to, but I hate it because it's like this thing that I don't know. It's like it's so tough. I mean, I know that you understand what I'm saying, but it's really tough. But when I'm going into new ventures like Lead Hawk, like Pulse, it has nothing to do with money at all. It all has to do with my personal goals, what I feel fulfillment from, how many people I can help, not just the businesses, but my employees as well. Like that's the
Well,
thing
yeah,
that I care about the most.
yeah. And I mean, like when this whole pandemic went down, you know, I canceled all of my speaking gigs, and I
Yep.
said I'm going to stay with my team, like, you know, like somebody, you know, who's in a hospital bed, and I'm going to stay with them because the two schools which I could move away from because of my consulting, my speaking, everything else, and my
Yep.
own investments, but I made the commitment that I'm going to make sure those two schools are there for my team. I don't care what it takes, what I have to do. I'm teaching in parking lots. I'm freaking teaching virtual classes. I'm teaching
Yep.
indoors, everything, because those schools will be standing for my team. You know, my team, TJ, K1, his
Yep.
Lucas, my sister. My sister's worked for me for 15 years and she's in her 50s. Where's she's going to go work if she's not working with me?
Right.
Right. So yeah, I get it, man. And that commitment. I mean, if you, I know it sounds so corny, but do what you love and the money will come. If you make money your God and you put money first, good economy, you're great. Bad economy, you tank because
Yep.
your whole focus and processes are based upon money. Correct. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So I feel, and I think people need to know that about you. They just see the great websites, they see your posts and things like that. But you know, I know you personally, and I love who you are as a person. I have a lot of humbled honor and respect. You know, for somebody you're about 32, something like that now. What are you?
31.
31. Well,
I
when are
think
you
about
going to
it
be
now.
32? When are you going to be
What's that?
32? When are you going to be 30?
Next July, next July. So I
Next
just
July.
turned 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, right in there. And your level of compassion is what I find most appealing. You and I were sitting together at MegaCon one night, and I didn't really know you yet. And remember that one school owner, she was freaking out and she was just having the hardest time taking in the content. And, you
Yep.
know, she felt like she wasn't getting love. And I don't know how late it was. It was at night. And you and I sat with her and kind of talked her off the ledge, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
when I my respect for you grew in an infinite way, and I think people need to know that because they look at the techno side. Steven, are you getting me leads? Steven, you know your website works. Steven, you know, can you fix this? Can you fix that? But I think if people embrace you and value the relationship through the website, through your products, and get past that, then culturally and as a tribe, they will really learn to appreciate why Market Muscles is what it is. And Ginny's another one. I mean, both you guys are kind souls, you're good people. And people say that all the time to me, you know, why Stephen Reinstein? And the first thing I said is because he genuinely cares. You
I
know,
appreciate it. Yeah,
no,
no,
absolutely.
thank you so much for saying all those things. You know, I kind of had a little realization also, you know, that one book by Dale Carnegie, I think it is, the How to
Mhm.
Influence Friends and or whatever it is. And I know that's like the number one book to read if you're getting into sales. And I remember reading it, and even Ginny read it relatively recently, and we were kind of perplexed by it because it's like teaching it's kind of like teaching you how to care about people, right? And we're sitting there like people don't just do this like innately, like they have to learn from a book how to do this. So it's it's kind of shocking and a little weird in a way, I guess, but kind of opened up our eyes that, we're just grateful for, I guess, who we are as people.
Well, yeah, and that's in your DNA. And I think the challenge again with social media and algorithms, they're not about caring. They're about keeping you on, right? The longer I keep you at my platform, the more images and sales I can throw past you. So
Yeah.
I think the challenge with that with the new generations is there's nothing about caring, right? I mean, people can't even communicate. They have to use a freaking emoji.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's scary when you're not developed enough as a person where you can't communicate and you have to put, BRB emoji, right? That scares
Yeah.
me. That scares me a lot. So taking that time to develop who you are is something in leadership, which I'm passionate about when I work with leaders, is
Yeah.
cultivating empathy,
Yes. Yeah.
cultivating the type of life skills that I think by default are being bred out of us
Yeah.
because we don't need them. I can simply ask Siri, I can go to Alexa, I can Google it and get a definition of empathy and I can throw it into the comments. That's
Right.
scary. That's real scary. It is. It is, Stephen. And so
Yeah.
I believe what I would challenge you to do, and I know you're going to be with me virtually on November 15th, not the first day, the 14th, but the 15th. I want to
Okay.
challenge you to go into your websites and I want you to define psychologically different elements of your website that connect with people and engage people on that emotional level and communicate caring.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Easy.
Everybody, I'm saying that publicly. That just came out of me right now. But that's because I think the school owner needs to know that. Why is this color, other than it's my brand colors, why do
Right.
you put copy right here? Why is it 12 points? Why is it this font? Why is this sentence constructed this way? I
Yep.
think you can highlight different areas of the site because algorithms can go that this part of this page gets all these hits and views, right? They're
Right.
physically in this part. That's how crazy algorithms are. They can look at a page and go, this area right here is getting lots of traffic, right? It's down to that
Yep.
type of science. In minute measures, they can break a page down like grids and go, that area works, this area doesn't. So I believe you look at your website and go, this area is not working. We need to work on that area right there. This grid is not working. Do you guys do
Yeah.
that? Yeah, you do. I'm
Yeah.
sure you do.
The thing that pops into my mind, and this was like a year or two ago when we did this, but we changed our opt-in forms. Instead of being first name, last name, email, it was full name, email, phone number. And the reason why we changed it from first name, last name to full name is because not everyone has only two names. And especially, different ethnicities or cultures or whatever, they don't just have a first name, last name. Sometimes, and I've seen this happen before on websites, they'll have a requirement where the last name has to be at least 3 characters. Well, there's a lot of people that don't have last names that are 3 characters. Sometimes they're 2 characters, right? So something like that would make someone feel not included in your school if they're not even able to fill out their information or their name doesn't fit into the boxes that you're giving to them.
So
But by changing,
where did you come up with that idea?
I mean, it started with my brain first, just thinking okay, this does not promote inclusivity.
Well, again, I don't think that's a brain action. I think that's a heart action.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
because your heart wants everybody to feel included. So something
Right.
because a lot of people married have hyphen half names and everything
Yep.
now, right? They don't take on the man's last name. They'll use their
Yep.
name hyphen and the man's last name. See, that's badass. To me, that's so disruptive, and that's really one of the reasons I just admire your work. For something as simple, and people wouldn't think that's a big deal, but it is, right? It truly
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Of course.
It truly is.
That'll,
And last name, first name, nobody does that. Nobody does last name, first name. Nobody.
right.
Right? They always write their first name and write in the last name. So when they opt in, is it 2 lines or just 1 line? First name, last name on 1 line.
It just says full name.
That's
Just
awesome.
1 line. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a huge disconnect when I have to put my first name on 1 line and then I have to put my last name on a second line.
Right.
You're right. So if I could put my full name on 1 line, that's very what's the word for it? Innate. It's very innate. That's normal, right? It's very normal. I dig that, man. So there it is, folks. I just wanted to pull him on because I love him. I love Stephen a lot. I wish I could see and talk to you more through all this craziness. And And I'm always there at 2 a.m, man. You want to chop up ideas, you want to throw something at me. I'm always your sounding board. You know that. I'm always
Yep.
there for you, sir, because I love your work. I love what you do. And I'm grateful to not only have you as a sponsor, but as a friend and someone who I admire dearly. Thanks a lot, Stephen. So you got to get to work on content for It's Time Live Elevate, the
All right.
virtually.
Sounds good.
Cool. Thank you,
Thanks.
sir. Thank you.
Alrighty,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Later. Man, isn't that cool stuff? And that's disruptive. See, you guys might have a Market Muscle website and you think, oh, wow, there's a change. But do you see the reason behind that? The caring of inclusiveness. They want to include people, right? So putting your whole full name. Wow, does that, it's just an opt-in form. Who cares? No. What we're trying to do is make emotional connections with people. Oh, that makes the hair on my arm stand up. Man, so what do people got to get signed up for, K1? It's Time Live Elevate, the virtually band, right? Blow that thing up. You can take me out. Yeah, it's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event, November 14th, 15th. You sign up now, you save $50, and you get a new limited edition Disruptor t-shirt. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's going to be super cool. It's going to be super cool. Because you deserve it. First 50 people get signed up. If you want to watch it with your team, only buy one feed. But I think as far as culture building, team building, it's personal development. It's developing a whole new skill set for this brave new world and how to really be able to utilize it. When I had that mom crying yesterday in the intro, I recognized, man, I'm on point. I'm freaking on point. Because I believe you connect with people virtually. You can do that, make that emotional connection. And if we can do that virtually, imagine how much better in our schools, at a community event we're going to be. Get signed up right now. Do it. All right. What's our next question, K1? Pop it in there. And you guys got questions on the side, throw them up, okay? All right. How to get past members signed up for current Zoom classes? Well, I think the thing with past members, they opted out because they believe virtual doesn't work. That's it. That's the long and short of it, right? So I don't think the question is how to get past members to sign up. I think the real question should be, how can I elevate my virtual experience to inspire people to want to sign up, right? I think we're past the point of, well, I'm going to quit for now or put my membership on hold until this thing blows over. Because for many of us, especially here in California, we're just now able to open 6 months. We've been closed. We're able to open San Francisco. I mean, physically closed, open San Francisco with 10% occupancy for classes, right? So I think really what it's about is creating that virtual experience where people want to connect. Right now we're doing an ad campaign. We'll see if it works. We'll see if it doesn't. Sending an email that just says quick question in the subject line. Would you be interested, in any of our programs, or are you? That's a standard one in the industry, right? We're offering a 10-day pass right now to try it out for 10 days, indoors, outdoors, online. We have all 3 platforms now. So going back to those on-hold members, we've had a couple of people yesterday, right, that wanted to do an evaluation. They didn't show up, but they were, people who wanted to sign up before the pandemic. And now that we have outdoor classes and indoor classes, fine, right? If I want an elephant to fail, make them climb a tree. And I was talking to my wife about that. She said, you can't sell to people, stop being afraid. Don't do that. You can't do that to people. It alienates them. It makes them feel guilty and lesser than. Simply promote the values of virtual. Keep sending the values, the values, the values, the values. That's what you can do. And what you can do is between you and your team, constantly refine the virtual experience, cultivate it. If I look at one more person at this point, simply broadcasting through an iPhone that's sitting on the floor, I'm going to scream. And if you look, we have great green screen, virtual environments, lighting, sound systems, wireless headsets. We're doing virtual at a much, much higher level. But beyond that, me and my team are constantly thinking, how can we engage? How can we connect with people? And through that, organically, people are starting to come back because they recognize this thing's here to stay. It might rear its ugly head even worse during the winter. And if you don't have virtual and strong in place, what do you do if they shut you down again? And all you've been doing is live classes and phasing out virtual. Somebody posted that yesterday. I think it was, I don't know who it was, but they said, live classes are not the same as virtual. No, they're not. Please do not broadcast your live classes to your virtual audience. They are two different animals completely. The way the instructor has to engage and behave is completely different. So again, put those past members in some kind of drip system. And if they know they have an option now, come take a 15-minute private lesson, right? Whatever the case may be, constantly nurture that. But more so, what would it look like if I got a subject line? Just want to see how you're doing. And then all I said in the body of the email, hey, we've really missed you in our classes. We now have them outdoors and in person as well. We'd love to see you back. Here's a 10-day pass. But start it with, we miss you. I mean, that's honest. That's real. That's authentic. There's an emotional connection there, right? That's a lot better than right now, 1999. It's not. These people have done business with you. They know who you are. They know the value. They're just like everybody else. We're in a pandemic. They were petrified. They were in SIP for how many months? Well, guess what? A lot of people are still in SIP and won't come out, right? They won't. So cultivating that trust in a virtual world, it's a whole new thing. And like a good farmer, plant the seeds, rototill the ground, wait till it grows, and don't push it. Don't push it. What last thing you want to do is make them feel guilty. Please don't do that. Is your child getting fat and sedentary because all they do is play video games? Well, if they're going to be online anyways, they might as well do karate, right? Don't do things like that. I don't believe in that, right? If anything, develop the life skill of empathy. Become very empathetic to the fear that people are feeling and just share. I'd love to hop on a Zoom with you and Jimmy. Could you possibly offer me that? And let me just connect, right? On and on, on and on, on and on. Jason's asking, what do you feel is a good system for lead follow-up, such as how many emails, calls, texts? Man, that's a tough question, Jason, because you ask one guy, he'll say no. You ask this guy, he says you do it that way. There is no right or wrong. The algorithms, which change dramatically, will tell you, right? I've got one guy. I opted it into one of his stock PDFs. No, I bought one of his services because, I just like reading. And this guy bombards me because I'm part of his service, right? He has my email, and I've unsubscribed to maybe 50 different attempts to get me. It's with this report and this program. I opt out of that. Oh, suddenly here's a new program, another program. I think it sucks. It sucks. I did that today, unsubscribing, and then they pop up again. I unsubscribed to you. Oh, no, this is a different program and a different. No, it's not. It's the same company, and I think that's two-faced. I think it's underhanded and it's not truthful. So I think what you need to do is ask yourself, and I know this is kind of weird, ask your wife, ask a mom. If you didn't know me and you just inquired about my services, what do you think would be okay? So we have a general rule, and I'm working on new email flows right now. The first day, if you're, say, a potential lead, right? And there's different funnels too, right? The different buckets. There's the person that goes to your website, that looks at it, but doesn't opt in, right? That person needs a retargeting email flow. And we're terrible at this, by the way, but we're working on it because it's always changing. Second group, they go to your website, they go to a particular page, but they don't opt in. Okay, there's another retargeting. They go to your website, they go to a particular page, and they opt in. Great. That's another. They opt in, but they don't sign up for the evaluation or anything. That's another bucket. Now, do you have the time to do that? I don't know. That's why most people farm it out, because it's a numbers game. It's always been a numbers game, right? It's always been a numbers game. And now you've got the whole new marketer. You see that marketer out there? You don't need to post. You don't need to comment. You don't need to target. You don't need to split test. There's that school of thought too. There is no right or wrong, sir. And I'd be a liar if I told you, Jason, that this is the only way. No, but here's what we do. So you opt in, you get an email on day 1. You get an email on day 3. You get an email on day 5 and one on day 7. So 4 emails in roughly a week. After that, we put you into a dead lead and we leave you there. And then we'll send you an email every 6 months saying, hey, are you still interested in our programs? That's it. My brother Tule of my studio, they don't believe in Facebook marketing. They don't. They were working at Google for a while. They felt Google AdWords were the way to go. What works one day will not work the next. So I think it's a constant, Jason, of being mindful of it, cultivating real emails with strong subject lines. Because if you don't open my email, it doesn't matter, right? One of the top subject lines at work is congratulations, because people thought they won something. Hey, congratulations. Thank you for taking your first step, to and inquiring about our programs. Is there anything I can do to serve you well? If so, let me know, email me back, or give me a good number or time to call you. That's pretty real, right? You opted in. Do you need help? I think that's real. 3 days later, following up with, would you like your child to be a better listener? Oh, I would, right? That's a subject line I would open. Third line, we love our kids and want to give them tools to succeed, right? Oh, for sure. Or question, would you like to give your child, would you like to give your child the tools to succeed? Cool. Yeah, I would. Let me check that email. So I think cultivating email subject lines are an art form. Keep them short, keep them sweet, and keep it something people want to engage. Remember for a while, subject lines, you had to do bell, 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 emoji, emoji. Remember when that was going on? That's dead now. People don't do that, right? You had to star, 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 all this. Because when I'm scrolling through my email feed, all these yellow stars will pop up and draw my attention. That's changing too, right? And it's changing all the time. Now, the big thing when you do sales, people aren't preaching long form. People are preaching short form, 90 characters or less, right? That's the last thing I read at Facebook. So I think the bigger question becomes, Jason, is if you were to sit in the room with somebody you truly loved and wanted to connect with them emotionally, what would you say? At least it's original and authentic, right? But again, when the day's done, I don't have the right answer for that because the algorithms are changing dramatically. What I would tell you to do is run from the guy that tells you he's got the secret sauce. Run from the person who says, I'm going to drop the bomb. Run from the person saying, I've got the secret, and read this 1,000-page, scroll down. And then after that, opt in. And then after that, I might tell you the secret after you watch a third or fourth video. I think that's so deceiving. And I'm not into that type of marketing. Wade Taylor, Conquest, what are some of the best practices or techniques your instructors have been using to keep students engaged and having fun on Zoom? Highlighting and spotlighting is number one, Wade. Highlight and spotlight people. When you let somebody know, hey, I've spotlighted your video, everybody's watching you, we're going to follow you or watch you demonstrate the technique. Number one. Number two is the mindset that you are in people's living rooms. You are in people's homes. We could never do that in a live class. Never, never, ever. So to highlight and spotlight, praising kids constantly, acknowledging a life skill. Like if, one time I was doing a private lesson, Wade, and I was talking about a life skill, and it was focus. Look with your eyes, listen with your ears, think of mind, do the right thing with your body. And I was telling this young man, if you have great ear focus, when your mom asks you to do something like clean your room, make sure you do it right away. Mom's shouting in the background from the other room, Wade, gold, that's gold, professor, that's gold. Ding, ding, ding. You're in their home, Wade. So for your instructors to acknowledge, wow, hey, I asked you to clean up your room last class, huh, buddy? I noticed everything's cleaned up. That's really freaking cool. Or say that, hey, I noticed that you got a haircut. Or, hey, I noticed this part about your house. Hey, you're in a different room today. That connectivity shows that you were present in the last class. So that's really, really important. I think being in the room 5-10 minutes before the class begins, just talking to people, being human, connecting with them, asking how virtual learning is going, asking how their birthday was, all those different things, right? I noticed you got a new dog, on and on. Right? We're trying to engage and connect with people virtually. Yes, we have our own video game and all those things, but you won't see me reading a book, virtual parents' night out. I realize kids are saturated virtually. So we're focusing on quality time, Wade. I want to make sure the 45 minutes they're there is the highest level of engagement and connectivity as possible. So that's a team meeting. Sit and connect. Talk to people. Right? And other that's been powerful for us, Wade, is having a monitor. If I've got a second guy on the screen watching the 25 kids and he goes, hey, look at Jimmy up in the left-hand corner. He stopped moving. He's not engaged at all. Let's get him. Boom. Boom. Oh, look at Sally doing things at level 10. Let's highlight and spotlight her. So we have that monitor who's kind of like, helping the guy who's teaching. So he's always engaged watching that screen. Tell little Jimmy to back up from his camera. We can't see his feet. Boom. Things like that, Wade, that's powerful as well. That's really powerful. Really powerful. And when we did our recent black belt test and these kids hadn't been in a live class for 5 months, they killed it, sir. They killed it. And we just really understood that, man, we are really living our purpose virtually. We really are. And that's it. And keep mining for those nuggets, Wade, and you'll get it. You're welcome, Chris. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my sister Letitia will tell you, Lucas is great at making my class time personal. He pays attention and brings the same energy each and every time. And there you go. There's that consistency, the same energy each and every time. And we do that because that's one of our disciplines, right? We understand consistency is the key to quality. I've said it a million times. Go to your favorite restaurant. They made the meal the way you like it. You go back. They don't do it a second time. You might give them a third chance. I go the third time. My favorite meal sucks. I will never go to you again. Done day. So it's the same thing here. Like Letitia's saying, my guys are consistent. You know, one mom came in to pick up her belt the other day, Wade, and she was, again, so emotionally charged. She said, you know, I'm going to thank you. If it wasn't for you, I don't know where we'd be. We can consistently count on you guys. And that's important. My kickboxing classes are always filled. You know why? We will consistently say TJ from Toronto. We have someone who, and we never see her on screen, but she's TJ from Toronto. Anytime TJ's in our class, we acknowledge TJ from Toronto. Everybody loves to hear their name, right? Everybody. I'll compliment people for wearing black because I always wear black in my kickboxing classes. On and on and on. We have virtual studios at both locations, Wade. We will never drop virtual. It has now become another revenue stream. We have black belts training from out of state. We have people who don't put their memberships on hold. They're doing private lessons from Airbnbs, on and on and on. Boom. Jason, he loves his virtual private with me. Yeah, Jason took on Kenpo and we train every week together now. And that's important. Consistency is the key to quality. You want to be a great Kenpo person and instructor, you train with me consistently. That's it. Done day. There's no other way to do that, right? And Jason will be a great Kenpo instructor and a great Kenpo student as we cultivate this. Cool. All right, where are we time-wise? Oh, God, we're at 12:04. We didn't get into all the questions, and I've got to head downtown. I've got a business meeting I need to engage in. Man, well, that's why the Q&A, I'm just loving the Q&A. This is going to be our format, man. We're going back to this. Share it with people, please. You know, we're going to go with this for a while, and when it gets stale, you know me, I'll pivot again. But your questions are important. You're facing this thing every day. You got to pivot. You got to adapt. You know, you're bobbing and weaving, and you have real questions right now. And then Wade, I'd encourage you, reach out to TJ. He'll tell you. Ask TJ those questions. You know, I teach every day too now, so that's my long and short. But TJ, Lucas, reach out to them at Facebook or Instagram. They'll be happy to answer your questions. So what are we going to sign up for, folks? Right now, cool disruptor t-shirt, boom, 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 right? And you get $50 off. One price for you and your whole team. Watch it together. It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event. Now you know Steven Reinstein. He's going to be one of our guest speakers. So who knows who else I'm going to have by that day. We're doing it virtual because we're reaching a worldwide audience. It's people who want personal development. It's good for small businesses. It's good for companies. Everybody. To me, it's the most disruptive content I've ever created. It's not simply Facebook marketing, how to get 10 students, writing systems. It's really about developing the skill set for this brave new world, moving into 2021 and being able to amplify, elevate is a better word for everything. Virtually, in the park, outdoors, in classes, everything. Everything is really going to be about that. So get signed up right now. Do it. Get your limited edition Disruptor t-shirt and it's $50 off. Cool? All right, man. I'll get to these questions next week. I promise. Such good stuff today. I can't do it without you. And this show was based upon that. You know, not me delivering content, me being with you, you giving me questions, that thing. You feel this? Are we connected? Boom, boom, boom. Energy flows like this. And that's what you recognize in your virtual classes. Don't talk at people, talk with people, right? Actively listen and don't try to control the conversation. That's so lame. Salesman 101. You need to control the conversation by asking the right question. BS. What we need to do is be active listeners who are generally concerned about whoever we're speaking to, their needs and their pain points. And then we work to fulfill them. Hair standing up on my arms. I love it. All right. So who's our, and what does the winner get today? I didn't even see that. What does the winner get today, K1? $99 saving on It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event in November. And be mindful. You know me. I'm going to ask you what content you want. I will reserve 1 or 2 segments just for the content that you want. That's important to me. And I'll post that soon because I research and I base it upon real life experience as well as cutting edge research. Those algorithms are changing all the time. So we need to have all of the data to give you real content that makes sense, right? I can't just pull something out of my behind and say that it's truth. No, no, no. There's a lot of research that goes into everything that I present you. It's not simply a one-dimensional content that I offer you. It is a lot of research and information and data that I collect. That's why social media is huge. They mine data. That's all they do is mine data. Cool. All right. Who's our winner today, K1? Nicholas. All right. Very cool. Nicholas Quadro. Right on, sir. You are the winner today. So I get to see you at It's Time Live, the virtual event. So take advantage of that discount and enjoy that. Cool, cool, cool. Hey, folks, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much to my sponsors, my studio, Market Muscles. Thank you, Stephen, for coming aboard. Kids Love Life Skills. Look for the huge changes coming in January. Huge changes to our platform and also to LC Accounting. All right. Hey, keep fighting the good fight. Don't give up. I love when I see pictures, Wade. You're in the park, you're in class, you're online, you're doing everything that you can to not only survive, but thrive in this brave new world. And for me, that's really, really powerful. I say it all the time. Team, if this doesn't happen, it's not what God wants, because we are working harder and working smart than we ever have. We are working at such a level, doing our best. We're not giving 100%. We're giving 1,000% in the park, 1,000% in the Millbrae parking lot, 1,000% on indoor, whoever will come, 1,000% virtually, 1,000%. So we are positive, we're engaged, and we're fighting the good fight. And that's what I love, right? That's what I love. Dalai Lama says it best. It's easy to be great when things are going your way. Can you be great when life is difficult? That's what builds character. That's what makes us better people. Cool? All right. Hey, this is Success Never Sleeps. I am and always will be Brannon Beliso. Get signed up for It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event. Until we talk again, please, you go out there